Hey guys, Brooke Corley here from Columbus, Georgia. Today the technique that I'm going to be doing is the ombre. One of the reasons why I chose the ombre for my model Bree is because she works during the day in an office setting, and at night she works in one of the area bars. So we want to just update her style. She's got a great haircut, and just give her something fresh and fun, but something that's going to be versatile, and she's going to be able to go from her office job during the day to that job at night. And it's going to be something that's upbeat and trendy, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so the pattern that I'm using today for the ombre, I feel is a very versatile pattern technique anybody can use. There's so many different ways to do the ombre, and I just feel like this one is easier for me. It's most comfortable for my clients, and I just get a wonderful result from it. So it's the technique that I'm going to show you today. One of the things that you need to do first, I find is most helpful, is find where that head curves, and then I go about an inch below that. And that's how I'm going to determine where the end of my rectangle is. Now she parts on the right side with the majority of the hair going to the left. So what I like to do is go down about an inch below where that part is and meet my line right there. And then I'm just going to do the same on the other side. Let your head up. And for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this and secure it because it'll be easiest for me to do my underneath section. Now once I establish this, I'm just going to go from that point just behind the ear. And just kind of piece that off for the time being. Then in the back section, I just take a rectangle and carve it out. Pin this hair up. Now for this first section, I'm going to take and off-center it. I don't want it in the center. I feel like it gives me a better result whenever I take each section and pull farthest to the side, rubber band, and then for my next section up, I'm going to do the opposite, and I'll show you that now. Now the bands that I'm using is just an ouchless hair band. That way we don't get any breakage from the hair, and it's comfortable for the client as well. And it normally takes about 3 wraps for it to secure. It doesn't have to be super tight, just as long as it holds that hair over to the side. And if you feel like it's not exactly where you want it, if you'll just take the side of that, kind of pull it over to the side. Then I'm just going to work my way up the head. Now to prepare the hair, what I did was I did a pre-art and hair cleansing cream. And the reason why I did that is to remove any product buildup, any minerals from the water she may have been using at home, if she's been swimming, anything like that. It's always good to start off your service with a pre-art and hair cleansing cream treatment. And it also evens out the porosity of the hair, so you just get an overall better result. And one of the things that I find in doing hair is that we still have to debunk that old myth that you get a better hair color or highlighting result on hair that's dirty, when actually you really don't. But that's all in educating your client and your fellow stylist. And I'm just going to continue to work my way up the head and on the sides, and we'll take a short break, and when we come back I'll show you my finished product. Okay, so what I did was I just took rectangle partings and off-centered my ponytails. So we've got one to the right, our next one is going to go to the left, and to the right and left, and on up. One of the things that I made sure to do though is, since she does part on the right side with the majority of the hair going to the left, is this front ponytail, I made sure to go to the right. That way whenever I do the ombre technique on this section in particular, whenever I drop it down, it's going to give her a little bit more coverage right there in the part area, and it's going to kind of frame her face. And then on the sides as well, you see I've just got one going to the front, to the back, and then to the front, alternating. All right. So next what we're going to do is, if you'll just take these and kind of pin them out of the way, you're going to back comb. And you want to fine tooth comb, and you're just going to work the hair. And I normally do about 3 and then drop it down. Now the amount of hair, and kind of hold it towards the end, determining the amount of hair that you want to leave out, that is going to be entirely up to you and the effect that you want for your client. With her, I kind of want a medium effect. So about that much. Then all I'm going to do is, and I like to do this before I start applying my lightener, because it's just a little bit faster process. So I'm going to continue to do this all over the head. Right, and so we're back. And what I did basically was just go all throughout the head and back comb my little ponytails that we had. It's just a little bit easier process for me to go ahead and do this. Warn your clients first that they're going to be very avant-garde. It might freak them out a bit. But no, every time I've done this, it creates a buzz in the salon. Everybody asks, what is she doing to her client and everything. So it's always been real great. And like I said, the effect that I get once we're done, it's worth every bit of this. So what I'm going to do is just start, and don't worry if some of these actually release a little bit. It's no big deal. Just before you apply your lightener, you can back comb it a little bit more. So I'm going to start on the bottom, in the back area. Make sure you have your gloves, that way you protect your hands from the lightener. With this, I'm going to be working with a highlighting board, some foils, some hair clips, and then I like to use 2 brushes in particular, long bristle brushes. One I'm going to use to actually apply my lightener, and the other one is going to be my dry brush. And then what I'll do is I'll just take it to kind of blur the lightener into the areas, just to give it a soft gradient effect. And like I said, if you need to, if that has fallen a little bit, just go back through and lightly hold it, and then just push up a little. No big deal. The product that I'm using is Blonde Dimensions and 30 volume, and the mixing ratio is 1:1. The reason why I'm using this is because I just love the I love the results that I get with it, and it's very conditioning. So I'm just going to load my brush. And I'm going to start right at mid-shaft. And work my way down. If you want to turn your brush and kind of work that in a little, you can. Then I'll take my dry brush, and either you can do one or two things. You can take and do it like that to kind of soften it, or what I normally do is I just take and right there where my line is, I just apply a little bit of pressure in an upward sweeping motion, and then just kind of release, kind of feather it in. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to kind of blur that line. Now, another technique that I'll do whenever I'm doing this is I take my brush with the product on it, and I'm just going to kind of wipe it clean, and then just kind of go through and pat a little of that product on it. And by doing that, you're going to soften the line also, and whenever this drops down, you'll just have little bits and pieces of those lighter pieces. And I'm going to take another piece of foil. And I just kind of bend down the top to kind of pinch it into place, hold it into place. And then just drop it down. So then I'm going to drop down my next section. And like I said, if some of it releases a little bit, it's not a problem. Just kind of go through there and readjust it however you need to. Load your brush. Make sure that that piece is completely saturated. Since you've distributed most of the product off the brush onto the hair, if you want to go ahead and just kind of touch that area that I was talking about before, the pieces that you've back combed, you can. You might have to brush your dry brush off in between each foil to make sure that it is indeed dry. So I'm just gonna, like I said before, apply a little bit of pressure in an upward sweeping motion and just kind of lift away. Make sure that that's got contact with the product underneath, and that should hold good enough for you. Just kind of pinch that side down. Lock it into place. I'm just making sure that that hair is completely saturated with my product. Clean my dry brush off. Upward sweeping motion. just to kind of blur that line. Put your full on top, just kind of press, just not a firm press, just to make sure that it's made contact, so it's just going to hold on to your foil. So I'm going to continue this throughout the hair. And I'm going to process at room temperature, no heat, for up to 50 minutes or until my desired level is reached. So we're back, and I've shampooed her, and I shampooed her with Extreme. Extreme is something that I use on pretty much every client that I've done a highlighting service on, just for the added benefits of the protein in the product. And also, I did a chemistry shot treatment on her, and I did half of my formula with the Color Extend. The reason why I use that is for the UV filter protection from the fading, and then I used my other half of my formula was the Extreme. And the reason why I do that is because the concentrated proteins that's in the product. We didn't tone. This is the natural color that it came up to. And I feel like it's a good blend to the color that she already has on. She has on her hair, the darker part right now, it's a 5N from Chromatics. And the reason why we chose that is because it's closest to her natural color. The reason why we did it also is because we felt like her natural color was just a little dull. And we like the benefits from the oil delivery system, the shine, the sheen that it gives the hair, and it's just a wonderful product. So, upon my initial consultation with Bree, she likes to not only flat iron her hair, but from time to time curl her hair. So the products that I'm going to be using to style her today is the Guts, and I'm going to use this just here in the crown area, and then also my Diamond Oil. And with this, you have to be very careful because you can overuse this product if you're not careful and not even realize it. And what I do is just use one vial of the Diamond Oil and distribute it throughout the hair. And I like the fact that it goes inside the hair strand to give added protection and a beautiful shine as well. I just really think it complements the hair color and the technique that we did today. And then another thing that we're going to use is the Iron Silk by Redken. I like using this, and it's something that she can take home with her. She can use it whenever she flat irons her hair. It's a thermal heat protectant. And she can also use it to curl her hair, since it is a memory of '07. It's going to give her that soft hold that she likes with like a beachy curl. So I'm going to power dry her first to remove most of the moisture, and then I'm going to round brush through the crown to give us a little bit of volume, and we'll see you in a minute. guys, we're back. So what I did was I went through and just styled Bree's hair using the products that I told you about before. And Bree, if you'll just turn around for me, you can see our result. And what I love about this technique for ombre is you can use it for short or long hair. Either one is very versatile. And also, if you'll just kind of notice, it's just very seamless. It just all kind of melts and blends together. And I mean, I just noticed that a lot of techniques or times that I see the ombre, it just kind of looks like dip dyed. And with this, the only upkeep is we'll do her regular visits every 6 to 8 weeks to trim her ends. If she decides that she wants to do a little bit more, we can always do that, add a little bit more. It's very easy to do that. Just use the same technique that we did before to add a little bit more. Other than that, there's really nothing that she has to worry about. And turn around. And Bree, are you happy?
Yes, I am.
We're both very happy. So what I'm going to do is send Bree home with 3 products. And we're going to do the Color Extend shampoo, the Color Extend conditioner. And the reason why we're going to do this is because it's going to protect her color. And it's going to give her that added protection with a UV filter so her color won't fade. Because again, she does have the 5N and chromatics on top of her hair. And then we're also going to do the Iron Silk. The reason why we're going to do this is because it's thermal heat protectant. And she can use this to straighten and curl her hair with. And that is it. And that concludes this portion of the video. Hey guys, Brooke Corley here again. So one of the questions is, why do I want to be a part of this? And I think that's an awesome question. I've been a hairstylist for 12 years now, but not until the past 3 have I really focused on my career as a hairstylist. A lot of times, you know, we come into the salon and it's just about what we do behind the chair while we're here, and that's it. But within the past 3 years, I've really focused on my career, and there's just so many things that can be done in this industry, and the sky's the limit. One of the things that I love to do is to travel and meet new people. I've met a lot of really great people through the different Redken programs, especially whenever I went to the Redken Specialist program and also Color a New Y in New York. So the reason why I want to be a part of it is to inspire my fellow stylists and just show them where their career can go with Redken, and I just think it's an absolutely wonderful thing. Thank you.